So to kick things off in today's episode, we gotta talk about the New Orleans Saints, man. Now, before I get into the game, let me tell you how I was feeling before the game. I was scared. I really was scared because I thought that this was gonna be a game where the team underestimated their opponent and it was gonna be closer than what it should have been. But it wasn't. The Saints, ladies and gentlemen, went out and stomped the Carolina Panthers 47-10. Now, let me tell you, when I was watching this, I was shocked in the first couple quarters. In the first and second quarter, I didn't know what was going on. I was befuddled by how the team was playing because that's not the team that we saw last year. Now, obviously, that game against the Falcons in that last game, that's the offense that we last saw. So, but it had been a couple months, the off season, and we didn't know what to expect from this offense. So, and not to mention last year, they were up and down. One minute they had a great game, the next game they came out flat. But to see them carry that momentum from the last game against the Falcons into this game against the Panthers, man. Let's get into the box score. Derek Carr, shout out to him. He did his thing. 23 passing attempts, completed 19 passes, threw for 200 yards and 3 touchdowns. Now, in Friday's episode, I said that he had to kind of be like the car that I own, right? Just get us from point A to point B. He did more than that. He was all gas, no brakes. He was acting like a whole Ferrari out there, a whole Corvette. Like, say what you want about Derek. Say what you want about Derek Carr, but at the end of the day, the man's improving. And he's starting to feel more comfortable, not only with the team, with his receivers, but I can tell he's starting to get comfortable in this offense as well. So, shout out to Derek Carr. Then, in the rushing game, Alvin Kamara, 15 rushing attempts, 83 rushing yards, 1 touchdown. Jamal Williams, 11 rushing attempts, 38 rushing yards, 1 touchdown. Then Taysom Hill, that's right, he was lined up in the backfield. So he's technically our number 3 running back at this point in the season, right now, to kick things off. 5 rushing attempts, 35 rushing yards. So this team, even though it's week 1, and I'm going to calm down a little because it was the Carolina Panthers, but this is great to see. This is great to see from an offensive standpoint because when you're out there and you're able to beat up on the team like the Panthers, that says something because, put it like this, last season we beat the Panthers twice, but in the second game, which was in New Orleans, even though we won, the game didn't feel like a W. Like, it didn't feel like a decisive win, but this win right here, man, boy, and now, for the first time in a minute as a Saints fan, I feel excitement. Like, I feel hope. I feel excitement. Like, watching that game last night made me feel as if I was in the Superdome. Like, hearing the crowd, hearing the energy from the crowd, hearing them do the who that chants and everything, hearing them be invested into the game. That's not something that we heard from Saints fans last year. We heard the Bluebirds. We heard boos. Every time the offense would go on the 3-and-out possession, the team would start booing. Every time Derek Carr, came back on the field, when Taysom Hill had a nice little run, the fans would start booing Derek Carr. But I'll finish say last night. But yesterday, it wasn't that. I felt the energy from the crowd like I was at the game. Like, I never felt that before. I have felt that before as a Saints fan, but I haven't felt it in a minute. Really, ever since Drew Brees retired, I haven't felt that feeling. But this team, man, it can be something special. It can be something special. Now, like I said, it was the Carolina Panthers, so no disrespect to them, but, Bryce Young had a tough showing. Now, before I get to the Panthers stats, real quick, Rashid Shaheed, 3 receptions, 73 receiving yards, 1 touchdown. Foster Moreau had a nice game, 4 receptions, 43 receiving yards, and 1 touchdown as well. And Jawan Johnson also had 2 receptions on 26 receiving yards and 1 touchdown. And not to mention Alvin Kamara chipped in with 5 receptions for 27 receiving yards as well. So, like I said, all-around great game for the New Orleans Saints, man.